So guys, in this video we will be seeing the blind SQL injection. In the previous SQL injections we have seen the error based and union based. So in that we modify the URL and it will be sent to the web application, and then it fetches the from the database and it shows the results in the web page, that is the HTTP response. So in this blind SQL injection there is a fault in the taking the input, but the result is not shown in the web page. So that is what blind SQL injection means. Application is vulnerable to SQL injection, but its responses does not contain any of our result. So how do we exploit this is by checking with the true statements. So we will put the condition like this, and if it's true, the web server returns something, and if it's false, the web server returns something. So we will see the differences between these two responses. So instead of 1 is equals to 1, we will ask whether this column exists or not. So if it exists, it will return the content which we have got from the true statement. So let's get started. So here we need to learn about this one method, substring. So this is the database ID, username and the password. This is in my local machine. Now what I want to do is I want to say select username from info, where username is equals to arrow. So now this will result only one result, right? That is arrow. Now what I do is I can say select substring of so this query result will return the arrow answer, and in that arrow we are going to give two parameters, that is the starting offset, suppose say 1, and then from that offset to how many length of bytes you want to read, that is 1. Now hit enter, you can see the first letter of arrow, that is A. So here we fetch the arrow and then we put the cursor at this offset 1. So this is 1 means put at this starting byte and then count from here onwards this offset 1 length. So here A. So here we got the answer A. So we will test this blind SQL injection using this technique. So let's access the lab. So you can also do the whole apps using this editing the cookie in the inspect element, or you can also do via this extension, edit this cookie extension from the Chrome and Firefox. So we will be doing the burp suit for this video. You can try in this extension also. So let me choose GIFs and put single quote. So now you can see there is something, welcome back, right? Now if you go to back, refresh this, so there is welcome back. I think there is no SQL injection in the URL. Alright, so they have said that there is a SQL injection in cookie, so we will see that one also. Click on GIFs, now send to repeater. Now you can see the cookie. So cookie contains two variables, tracking ID and session. So it will the SQL query extracts the tracking ID that is stored in the database and checks with this tracking ID. So if that matches, it will identify as a text69. So I am this user. Okay, If this tracking ID is something other like 234, so then the tracking ID belongs to some other user. So this will be checked with the database. So how this is generated? So whenever we first ask the for the web page, it is automatically generated and it is stored in the database. So that's why you need to put semicolon, and we are going to make this as a false statement. 1. So now let's send this request. Okay, there are you can see 103 lines, right? So 103 lines. So now what you are going to do is 1:2. So we are making this as a false. So by in the web application, it will be select some data from the cookie table where tracking ID is equal to this one. So we are making it false. Now we should see some other response. Now click send. So we still got the same response. So we should see some changes in this. Let's say 1 is equals to 1. So there is one extra line where it is being added. So let's copy and type this one. Let's paste this. So this is the true one. So let's go and say 2. And also copy this one. Now let's say diff temp1 temp2. Okay, this line has been added, so we need to search for this one. So whenever there is a 1 is equals to, that is false statement. So there is no welcome in this. If I say 1 and send the response, now let's search for welcome. So there it is, welcome back at 47th line. So whenever this statement is true, that means we are getting this response, welcome back. Okay, this should be a good indication for our queries. So okay, now what we are going to do is we are going to brute force some directories, brute force some tables. So here in this lab, they have already told us that there is a users table and a username column and the password column. But in real life, you need to guess some or take a word list from the GitHub. So I have made some random table names, known usernames. So should have this one, table names. So okay, now what we can do is I will show you how to brute force the tables. So you can say and select small a. So we are selecting one element from let's say table name. So this output will be small a if the table exists. So that if the table exists, we should get a. So I will show you here. So there is this table info, right? Now what I can do is select a from info. So there is a info table and there are some 5 rows. So that's why we got the 5 ways. Now what we can do is we can say limit 1. So it will remit the output to 1. So that means we can get exact this A from this one. So this A are the same. We get only the result when there is a table info. Now let me change this to info 2 and you get the error. So that means this is a false one, this is true one. Limit 1 and now send. So if the SQL query is the true, we should see welcome back. So that means this is false. So there is no table with the name table name. So now what we need to do is we need to say users. So already there is a user and click on send. You should see welcome back. So there is no welcome back. Means we have done something wrong. Select A from users, limit 1. So let us see what they have given. The table name users. So you should see welcome back here. I think our query is correct. Where I have been wrong. So let's see the solution once. Oh my god, the space. Oh my god, the space after this A has been giving the tough time. Sorry for that. So now you can see there is a welcome back. So that means the users exist. So how to brute force this one? Send to intruder and positions, clear all the positions. You need to change this to users. So users, click on add. So this placeholder has been added to users. Now click on payloads and now you can start typing some table names. So you can add some tables here, users, login, credentials, and so on. So this is a simple sniper attack. Now let's start the attack. So the default one is 5122. So let's change it to something that does not exist. Let's write I am text dictionary. So I know that table does not exist, so it gives me the false response. Now we have the tables payload here and start attack. So the default request is of the response is of the 5061 length. So now we can see the response here. There is no welcome back. So there is no welcome back. Now you can sort it according to this length. So you can see 5122. So that means this user's table exists. So that's how you brute force these table names. So in the blind SQL injection, most of the things are about the brute forcing. So one another important thing what you can do is select. So if we know that already, if that is MySQL database, you can get the select version. So select version, and then, or what you can do is select A from information schema.tables. So we came to know the information schema.tables exists because it's like a MySQL type or Microsoft type, Postgre type. If it's Oracle, you will get the all underscore tables. So let's go and to introdder again. So here my positions are set. Now let me add some more items. Information schema.tables and then all underscore tables. So this is non-Oracle type, this is Oracle type. Now let's start the attack again. So 5061 is the false response. You can sort according to it, and we can see we got the two tables, users and information schema tables. So that means we can conclude that most of the functions or anything we use, that is in according with the MySQL syntax. So let's go back to our repeater. So you cannot brute force like every table. What you can do is you can write a table like this. So known usernames of this table. So we came to know that there is a users table, right? So in the normal users, you need to get the most important or high privileged account. So administrator, root, admin. So this might be the good usernames, right? Okay, now we are going to select. So first we need to find the column names. Okay, so in the solution they did not give how to find the column names, they just said that there is a username a column. Okay, now my methodology is select info. So we get the A column, right? Now instead of this, what you can do is you can select the username. So you got this username column, right? But these two are separate columns. Now what I do is I concat this. I concat this one and hit enter. Now you can see I got the A arrow. So A is the first A and the next one is arrow. Now what I do is I can do the substring of, okay, I could just say select substring of this entire SQL query substring of, sorry, okay, this entire query. So this inner query returns the A arrow. So in that we need to get the first one, which is A, which we already know. So you can see we got the A because first we have the A and concatenated with this table name. So we guess this column name. If there is a column name, we get the result A. If there is no column name, username, so we get the false. So we get the error. So this is how you concatenate the columns. So again, this method is not described. I found this using the concat operation. Concat of small a comma username. So I'm just guessing this one. So normally in the users table it can be username or ID from users. Limit 1. So this is one query and we need to say substring of this one. We need to extract the starting letter. So now if there is a username column, we will get the A. So let's send this and you can see welcome back. That means there is a column with the username. So let's click on 1. So we are changing to username 1. Now let's send the request, and there is no welcome back. That means username 1 does not exist. So send this to intruder, positions, clear all positions. Now select this username 1 and click on add. Now the placeholder has been placed. Now we need to add the payloads. So you can just guess the column. So this blind SQL is filled about the column, guessing and brute forcing. What can be the columns? Passwords, password, ID, capital P, passwords, capital P, passwords, and ID can be capital ID. So what you can guess? So I think that's enough for this small table users. Now click on start attack. So the default one length is false response. You do not have welcome back. So now you can click the length. Click on this. So it will sort according to the okay, I'm sorry, this is case instance 2. That means capital and smaller both are same. So password table, ID table. So ID we don't require that much. So we came to password column and ID column of the table users. So this is how you brute force the columns. So we know the table, users table. We have the 3 columns: ID, username, and the password. So generally here what they have given is the directory counted the length of password of 3. So you can see here they have used the length method, and if length greater than 3, it will return A. And we need to test multiple times: greater than 3, greater than 10, greater than 30, etc. So I developed some methodology. I will show you. Select star from info. From info I do not have. So now what I'm going to do is select A from info, where first let me show you what I'm going to do is I'm going to select the max of length of username from info. So which is the maximum username? This one, this nickel contains some greater number of characters. Now hit enter. You can see 18. If you want to so this 18 is of course this one. So that means the maximum characters of the maximum username is 18. So every other username is less than or equal to 18 characters. So that means we need to brute force every this letter 18 times, like for each time maximum 18 times. So you will check every this first one, and then second letter, and then third letter, and so on up to 18. So that will be our maximum length. In the same way you can also check for password. So 10. So the maximum word that password word that contains the characters are 10. So arrowverse is the maximum length, and it contains the 10 characters. So this will be very useful. So let's go back to our repeater. Now what we are going to do is select max of length of, so the column name, what is the column name we have found? That is username, right? From the table users. So this result will return whether it is number, so it will, you can also say 1. So now let's send this, and you can see there is no welcome back. I think this query is correct, max of length of username from users. That's fine. Now send to intruder. So you need to clear all the placeholders and put the placeholder to 1. So we need to check this returns either 1, 2, 3, 4 etc. If it returns 10, that means the maximum length of username is 10. Click on add. So coming to the payloads, we need to add for I in range of 1 to 30, print of I. So I'm going to add the 29 numbers, copy this, and don't click on this and don't press Ctrl V, just paste here, and now start the attack. So this is the default one, error 1 5061. Already put this in the descending order. So we need to wait for the 2 response. So you can see 5122. So the response length. So you can see there is a welcome back, and the payload is 30. So the maximum username is 30. Now length of administrator 13. So that means there is an administrator user. Most probably the 13 with the users table that containing username and password, of course they should be administrator, and the 2 with the 13 length. Close this. So these are my previous results. Now we have users table, username, password, ID, and one of the username is the administrator. Okay, now we need to brute force the password for this administrator user. Let's go to repeater. And now we need to select password. So we came to know there is a password column. Okay, we can do the substring of password, the first one, first offset. So first at the first element, the first offset, that means first letter. Select substring of password 11 from users where username is equals to administrator. You can also put the a capital A. You can also try. First let's try with the small a. Okay, administrator. So I think this should work. Select substring of password. First selecting the first letter from the password field from the users where username is administrator. So let's change it to 1 to A and click on send. So we did not get welcome back. Now send to intruder, and we have this positions, clear all positions. So here you can go in 2 ways. You can brute force this one directory, or you can brute force both. First let's brute force this one. Click on add. Okay, we need to choose this. We need to select the payload, all capital letters, all small letters, and all numbers. So go to github.com. So this is my repository. I have created a small this is a small list that contains all the small, capital and the numbers. So now for in data print of 5. So let me copy this, all of this, go to payloads and paste here. So we are checking with every alphabet here and the number, that is the first letter of the password. Now let's start the attack. So the default one is 5061. Keep on descending order, because we already know that the true response contains more length, because the line welcome back is being added in the true response. So you can see the payload is M. So that means the first letter is M. So you can write down. So first one is M. So I have already done this. So the password is randomized whenever you open this one. So that means the password for me is different than yours. And I can assume that there are no capital alphabets. Just for the sake of this tutorial, I am going to skip the uppercase one. Okay, what? Okay, I'm sorry. So now we got the numbers and small alphabets. Okay, what we are going to do is clear all this and clear all the positions. We are going to add this position also. So this position, 1 indicates the first byte, and 2 indicates the second byte, 3 indicates the third byte, and so on. And this one will be testing with the result. So you need to select the cluster bomb. Okay, payload 1. So the payload 1 is going to be so let's add the payload 2. So these are the payload 2. So the payload 1 is going to be the maximum, the password length, that is I think 20. So we did not check this one, right? Password payloads. So let's check the maximum length of password. So in previous tried, I got the 20 as the password length. So let's see this one. So now you can see the 20. So that means the maximum attacks payloads you can set is 20. So let's generate the numbers 1 to 21. Copy and paste here. So payload 1 is the 1 to 21. So 1 to 20, that is being searched for each byte of password, and each byte with testing with these alphabets and numbers. So I think you need to just start the attack and it will be. So already click the descending order of this length. So you can see here payload 1, that is first byte, is checking with A, and second byte is checking with A, third byte, and so on. If there is a in any of these 20 bytes, we will get the true response. So checking at 12th position, and no, there is no A up to now. Okay guys, I am going to stop here now. It's taking so much time. So in the same way, you can just automate the entire process with the Python. So I have already did some code, but I am getting error at this getting the password. So URL. So first it is taking the URL and we are checking if it's prone to blind SQL, getting the default length, and then we are extracting the cookies. So this is the cookie where we got the SQL injection, and then we are sending another request with modified cookie. So we are adding this SQL query, and then we are checking. So if there is a like welcome back, it will be not equal to the length of the default response. So that means URL is prone to blind SQL, and then we are brute forcing tables. So I have added some list here. You can see tables, users, login, auth. So these three tables I am going to brute force, and I am checking with this using this query whether these tables exist or not. And then again same method, we are just getting the and comparing with the default length. And then I am created the columns, username, password, hashes, ID, and then I am generating this using this string, this SQL query. So we come to know that these columns exist. So let's go and run this. So it's just a simple brute force. So checking. So this is the tracking ID, and URL is prone to blind SQL. So tables found, users, and then columns, username, password, ID found. So up to now it's fine, but it's I'm getting some errors at this getting the password. So I hopefully burpee is more than enough for this. So you can see we got one of the answer at 3 position. The answer is the password contains E. So in that way, after completion of this, you can build the password.